Thank you so much to everyone for joining me here today. My name's Colm Mitchell and I'm one of the customer success managers here at Leap. Our whole role is to make sure that you're getting the most out of your subscription in our software. Now, I'm really excited to be able to introduce you to Amy Church from Lucas and Wyllys. Amy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Amy Church. I'm from Lucas Wyllys Solicitors. We're a high street firm based on the East Coast. We offer services including conveyancing, family law and private client. I am a conveyancing solicitor and I'm also the managing partner.
Great to hear. Now, what my plan is to go ahead and ask Amy some questions about your experience with the AI bits and pieces. But what I'd like to do is go ahead and introduce each of the AI products just to make sure everyone knows the point of each. So starting off with our Law product, this is our AI legal assistant that's there to be able to help you with jurisdiction and various different matter types. We have Matter AI, which offers intelligent matter searching. We have our newest product known as Prompts, which is there to be able to help you complete complicated legal documents. We also have Generator, which is designed to be able to basically make sure that it generates the documents for you. And finally, we also have Auto Time, which easily captures, as you work through your case, all the time spent on the matter. Now I'm going to open this up to Amy, if that's all right, and ask you a couple of questions. So Amy, how have the AI innovations changed the way that your firm operates on a day-to-day basis?
I would say that overall, they've just saved us a lot of time. So the features are just there so that something that you might sit and give a bit of thought to for a long while of how am I going to write this, what do I need to include, doing the research, pop it in the AI generator, ask it a few more questions perhaps to change slightly what it's done. You've quickly and easily got a draft document. It just saves us so much time.
Really, really good to hear. That's exactly what it's designed to do. So I'm really glad to hear that feedback. Have you noticed any sort of improvements in terms of like your clients' interaction and bits and pieces since adopting the AI bits?
Yeah, I'd say that they don't know that we use AI. That's the whole point of it. They don't need to know that, but they can quickly, not necessarily quickly, but easily understand things a bit better. So we're better explaining to them in more detail certain legal issues so they get a better grip of it quickly and then we can move on to the next issue.
Exactly. There's so much legal jargon that a standard client wouldn't understand. It just puts it in the simplest terms. Great. No, really good to hear. I just wanted to know if you had any specific examples just in terms of day-to-day with the document automation.
Yeah, so I personally use it a lot for when I'm preparing property reports for clients. So a lot of the time there's an indemnity policy, for example, trying to explain to them what it is, why we need it, how it works. I can quickly do that, pop it into the report, nice and easy, done. Or say the Matter AI, if you've got a particular document, you want to pull out some key points in it, an overage agreement, ask it to tell me what the main points are, pop that in a report. You've got a quick basis for the document you're trying to prepare.
So good to hear. Really, really glad to hear. Now, what actually prompted you guys to start to look at our AI products?
We are keen to use legal tech. We take us back 5 or 6 years ago. We didn't have a case management system. We work on a server in the basement. It was very old-fashioned.
Very common, though.
Yeah, exactly. And we had a bit of a technological revolution when everything in the cloud, we stopped printing, and we've been really keen to keep up with that. We trust Leap. We know that whenever you add something on, it's always going to benefit us. And the same could be said with the AI. As soon as you see the button appear, it's like, what's that? Let's have a look at that. And we've just, started using it. I tend to test it first and then sort of spread the word around the team, and then people start adopting it and people love it.
Yeah, it's so good to hear. It always seems to be the case that there is just one person who tries it and it's just light bulb moment.
Yeah, exactly. And they trust me to know that if I'm telling them something about some new tech, because of the history of things that we've already using, they know that it's going to be something that's going to benefit them.
Yeah. Well, talking about the new technology, I mentioned at the beginning about the new prompt feature that I sent you a little video of the other day. What are your thoughts on it so far?
You did send me that video at the right time, because I'd only been thinking a few days previous, surely this is going to be integrated into Word soon. And it is. And it just makes it just a little bit easier. It makes sense. You're in a Word document, you're preparing a letter or a document. It's in one place, just quicker.
Yeah, no, so good to hear. I will be demonstrating that very shortly. Just a couple more questions. I just wanted to ask if there been maybe a reduction in sort of like omissions or errors since starting to use the AI stuff. Not taking that away from your staff at all. I'm sure they're brilliant.
Yeah. I would say not necessarily omissions or errors, but we're just more thorough in the explanations to clients, because it might pop information in there that you wouldn't think of doing if you were drafting it yourself. It's very thorough. It just gives clients a better understanding of those legal issues and legal jargon. Also stops us from putting words in that perhaps we might understand and use on a day-to-day basis, but they might not understand.
Got ya. Yeah, totally makes sense.
Or user friendly.
And just to finish up with this Q&A bit, how often would you say staff are actually using the AI bits?
Pretty much every day.
Perfect. Yeah. That is exactly what we're looking for people to do. So I'm so glad to hear your feedback. Now, I explained at the beginning of this everything that the AI would do. We've got your feedback, but this is going to make so much more sense if I actually show it off. So let me switch over to my laptop and we'll actually show people how it works.
Sounds good.
Let's start off with LawY. LawY is your firm's trusted AI legal research assistant, offering instant AI answers specific to your jurisdiction and matter type. Optional verification sends it through to an experienced solicitor who can then review and update the AI answer for accuracy. It provides a powerful productivity solution, adding unprecedented speeds to a wide range of legal tasks, including conducting legal research, summarising case law or legislation, drafting letters, emails or documents, proofreading, grammar checking and summarising information, and also creating precedent orders. Let's have a look and see how this works. Now, I'm going to try and cover a wide range of various different areas of law today, and what I'll do is I'll start off with a divorce matter, and on opening up the case, we can then see that we have our AI legal assistant in the toolbar. If we click into this, all that we need to do to get it to work is basically just ask it a question. We can then ask anything here about divorce or dissolution, as I'm in a divorce case, but this relates to all areas of law. I simply ask my question, click on the Ask button, and we should then be able to see in real time that it will grab an AI answer for us. Now, one thing I really like about LawY is not only will it go ahead and give us the particular answer for what we're looking for, it will also provide the resources for where it's sourced that information. Therefore, if I needed to do some more research, I simply need to click into the resources to be brought to the web page to be able to do said research. There's also the option here to be able to copy to clipboard if I wanted this into maybe a document or an email. I also have a number of AI tools as well, so I can make this shorter or remove any personal information. I can improve the writing or fix any spelling or grammar, and also the option to be able to translate if I needed it in another language. We can also continue the conversation if I had follow-up questions, and you'll notice wherever you are within LawY, you have this verify button. All I'd need to do is simply go ahead and click on the verify, for it then to be checked by an experienced solicitor. I would then get a notification to be able to say if it's checked and also if any changes have been made. Let's move over to another area of law and we'll give this another try. For this example, I'm going to be looking at an estate dispute case. Again, I'm going to click into my AI legal assistant up here at the top. And in this scenario, I'm going to ask it to provide me with examples of case law for a specific set of circumstances. Provide examples of case law where a will has been disputed and a claimant has been successful. Again, I'm on an estate dispute case, but this relates to every single area of law. If I click on my Ask button, we should then be able to see after a few seconds, it will then provide me with different sources to be able to show me case law for the specific set of circumstances I've set up at the top. It will also give our answer our resources again, so we can click into, we could copy them, we could ask AI, verify it, and continue on the conversation or rewrite if we wanted to. Now let's go ahead and move over to Matter AI. So to explain this, the Matter AI application allows you to intelligently examine your legal matters correspondence to provide you with instant insights and information. Matter AI searches through your matters correspondence items such as documents, emails, attachments or scanned PDFs, and even handwritten notes. From Elite Matter, you can ask Matter AI to assist with a range of different activities, such as checking matter details and dates, summarizing documents, comparing multiple documents for any discrepancies, extracting key terms or concepts from documents, and also analysing financial transactions and providing timelines or chronologies. Now again, let's move over to a different area of law to show this off. This scenario, we'll go with criminal law. To access, I'm going to simply click on my Matter AI chat button up here at the top. And similar to when I showed off with the law-wise side of things, in order to make this work, we just simply need to go ahead and ask it a question. We'll get our chat box down here at the bottom where I can then type up my question. We'll also see that it will give us a couple of examples of various questions based off the information the matter has, but I can ask this absolutely anything. So in this scenario, what evidence does the Crown Prosecution Service have against my client? And within seconds, that's then going to find the information from the matter correspondence that it has available rather than me having to manually do it myself. I also love the fact that it will give the resources of where it sourced that information as well. Let's have a look at another scenario for this. Let's go with a will matter. As what I'm actually going to ask this to do is I showed off that you can click into the Matter AI chat button, which will then go ahead and search the entire correspondence. But I did mention a little bit earlier that I can use this to be able to compare documents. So in this scenario, I've got my draft last will, I also have my final last will, and I want to see what differences there are between the two. Therefore, if I hold down Control, I can select more than one document. I can then right-hand click and click on Matter AI, New Document Chat. So I'm not looking at the entire case, I'm specifically looking at those two or more documents. And what I can then go ahead and do is ask it to compare those two versions of those documents. Now, this could take me 5-10 minutes if I was doing this manually, whereas we'll see with this, it will do it within seconds for us. So it's loaded in those 2 or plus documents. I'm simply then going to go ahead and ask this to compare the two, what are the differences between the draft and the final. I'll just full screen this so we can see how quickly and easy this will go ahead and do it for us. This will then highlight differences between the two documents, saving a significant amount of time rather than us having to do it manually. The way I always describe this is it takes the grunt work out of someone manually sitting there and finding differences, creating the summaries, creating timelines. This will do the work for you instead. Let's move over to something brand new that I'm really excited to be able to show off. It's a brand new feature that we've introduced over the past few weeks known as prompts, and what this will do is use Matter AI provided directly within the Word documents through a simple add-in. Matter AI for Word basically has two main features. There's something that's known as chat mode, where users can ask questions about their matters or documents, and Matter AI will provide answers that can be easily inserted into the documents. And then there's also prompt mode. Matter AI will read the contents of a document as a prompt and generate a detailed response based on the rules and guidelines outlined in the document itself. That will make a lot more sense when I go ahead and I show you an example. But before we go ahead and use either, what we'll need to do is actually go ahead and enable the add-in within Microsoft Word. So let's get rid of Matter AI just for the minute. And if I just go into any Word document within Microsoft Word, each machine would have to do this, but once it's turned on, that should be it done and ready to go. In order to enable, what we'll need to do once it's gone ahead and loaded is simply click up into File up here in the top left-hand corner. We'll then just need to go to Get Add-ins, where we have a range of third-party add-ins. If we simply just search for Matter AI and just give it a little search, scroll down slightly, we should then be able to see the Leap option here. We'll simply go ahead and need to just click on the Add button. And because if it's your first time that you're using, you'll need to read through and agree to the terms and conditions. You'll also be prompted to add in your Leap credentials to connect it to your Leap database. Once that's done, it will then go ahead and ingest all the documents within all of your Leap matters. And this process then assists Matter AI with providing really quick responses to any of the AI prompts for us. Now, as always, this will make a lot more sense if we go ahead and we see a couple of examples. We're going to go ahead and jump over to some other areas of law for this scenario. So we're going to go over to a personal injury matter. I'm simply going to go ahead and click on New Document, and I'm going to say that I want to write a letter out to my client or claimant in this scenario. Now, once it's gone ahead and loaded, I could go ahead and start typing into the document as I normally would. However, if I go ahead and I just click into the add-ins option that I've got available up here at the top, we'll now see that we have our Matter AI button. And what this will then go ahead and do for us is it will then start to load up Matter AI full words where we can then go ahead and ask it questions. This is known as chat mode. As with Matter AI within the case, it will give us a couple of suggestions, but what we can go ahead and do is type in our own specific questions. What injuries did Vanessa sustain in the accident? Now that will now be ingesting all the various different documents to then go ahead and basically give us our answer. But one massive time-saving benefit is I could ask this absolutely anything. And if I wanted that statement into a document, I simply need to click into the place I want it, click on my insert button, which will then insert that wording where I can then manually change that over. Let's give this another quick question. What specific rehabilitation, again we're on a personal injury case, did Vanessa have following the accident? I might want that as my second paragraph. This is now digesting the various different matter information. It's told me where it's got this information from, so I can check it to make sure it's right. Rather than typing that up manually, I could then click on insert and have that specifically into the document. So I could ask this any question, and if I'm happy with the answer, just over here on the right hand side, I can simply insert it straight into the document. Let's go ahead and move on to the next mode, which is going to be known as prompt mode. What I'll do is we'll minimize our previous document, and let's go ahead and use a lost in power of attorney matter. Now, before we go ahead and show this, I'm just going to explain exactly what it's there for. Our prompt documents are essentially a set of templates that read the contents of that particular template as a prompt and generate a detailed response based on rules and guidelines outlined within the document. It's designed for some of the more complicated forms that can be quite time-consuming. What these will do instead is pull the information out from the matter so that they can be pasted straight into the documents themselves. Let's show a little example of this. So I'm just going to move to the forms and precedents option up here at the top. And we'll see I'm currently within the lost in power of attorney matter. We'll see that we have this new folder, this beta, wills and lifetime planning, and a load of different options available. We can find all the various different prompts if we're in the practice management folder, and we simply go ahead into practice management. We'll find our AI prompts library with all the various options that we have available for different areas of law. We are adding more at all times, but at this time, what I'm going to go ahead and do is generate one that I want to basically produce a letter to accompany the LP1F. I can simply go ahead and double click into this. And what this will do is basically bring up a detailed instruction sheet telling Matter AI exactly what to do. So I can see Matter AI over here on the right hand side. It's now gone ahead and basically written a detailed letter with the information that it's extracted from the matter itself. If there isn't any information that's available that it can pull out, it will pop in placeholders for us. But rather than me having to say sit there and manually generate this myself, what I can go ahead and do instead is simply go ahead and copy the information directly from the prompt document, generate a brand new letter to accompany my lost in power of attorney documents, and what this will then do is simply allow me to paste this in. This could take 10 minutes to write an accompanying document, whereas with this, it's generated the information from the matter in seconds. I can then simply paste that into the document and have my letter written basically within seconds for me. Now, I don't just want to focus on the LPA side of things, so I do want to show this in another capacity as well. Let's pop into a family matter where we've got a private child arrangement, and we'll just pop into our forms and precedents just to show off how good this can be. I'm just going to double click into my various different prompts. I'm going to go ahead and generate a witness statement. Now, what this will do, similar to what we've seen before, is pull out the information for us so that rather than us having to manually type up a witness statement, this would do the whole thing for us. So as this goes ahead and loads, we've got our document with these set of instructions, nothing manually that we need to do there. Just full screen this for ease. We can pop into the add-ins, click into our Matter AI. We'll get a little message to be able to say that that's now trying to digest the information from the matter after a few seconds. So we can now see that that's reading through the prompt, and it will then start to go ahead and pull the information out for us. And as we can see, this will then start to go ahead and pull everything together. It's telling us what it's pulling out from the matter. We'll see that it turns over into a different color once it's actually pulled the information from the documents and also from the various different matter details as well. Just give this a few seconds just to finish off. And once it's gone and retrieved those facts, it's then going to give us the full breakdown of exactly the information that we've detailed into the prompt itself. Just give that a second just to finish up. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll actually then generate a signed statement for us. So I now have my applicant signed statement. I'm just going to double click just to start to generate that. And now I've got the document now generated and ready to go. All I basically need to do now is basically pull the information over from the prompt document that we used before. So here we have the prompt. I'm simply going to take all of that information, all the details that it's gone ahead and pulled out once I've checked them over, pop over into my signed statement. And it's as simple as just pasting that information in, completing that statement for us, meaning all that needs to happen now is the client needs to check the information and sign it. This could take upwards of 15 to 20 minutes to do this manually, whereas I've been able to complete this in seconds. So really, really big time-saving benefit, and these are so useful. They're also going down incredibly well when we're running training sessions as well. Let's move over to our next AI bit, which is our generator app. And what this does is simplifies document creation processes using law-wise trusted AI legal assistant within Leap to provide you with a more efficient and quicker way of generating documents. I actually like to think of this where it's gone ahead and combined Matter AI and law-wise together. But as always, this is best demonstrated. So let's go ahead and change this to another area of law. We're going to go with corporate in this scenario, a commercial purchase. I'm going to double click into this and move over into my forms and precedents. And what we'll notice is we've got our generator button up here at the top. Now, all that I need to do is basically describe the type of document that I want this to go ahead and produce for me. Now, we can type up any sort of document or email that we want it to go ahead and generate for us. I'm going to ask this to write me a letter to the seller solicitor detailing our client's position. And what this will then go ahead and do for us is it will then go ahead and actually generate said document immediately for me. So we should then be able to see that this has now started to generate the actual specific document. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but my whole idea with this is it takes the manual work out of someone having to sit here and type up the actual content of what we want to say ourselves, and instead simply describing it would generate that specific document. Now, I might want this to maybe be in a Word document format, so if I simply then go ahead and click on document, it will be presenting me with my master template so I can have it on my letterhead. I might specifically want that maybe as an email. So what I can do is if I click the arrow next to it, I can also then select the email option. There's also a couple of filtering options up here at the top, so I can go ahead and click into the filter to make this more exact or more broad if I wanted to, as well as the facility to be able to go ahead and upload your own precedents directly into the generator as well as having personal information utilization to be able to basically make this as accurate as I need it to. So just to summarize, describing the type of document is all there ready for everyone to use and has gone down extremely well with our clients so far. Now let's finish up with auto time. Leap has always been great at allowing solicitors to manually time record on their matters. However, with auto time, Leap will automatically record the time spent on a number of different activities. This includes generating and reviewing documents in Word, drafting or reviewing documents or emails in Outlook, reviewing PDFs, meetings, etc. I'll show the full list of everything that it can do once I've shown you an example. But one of the biggest things that I've seen over the years of training is that time can get missed by staff members through no fault of their own. Using auto time takes out the manual need of having to remember to time record as you go. Recorded activities are billable, but you can also mark them as not billable if we needed to, and billable items are automatically converted over into time entries that you can then go ahead and edit or modify the time entries if required. It can also be configured for individual staff or firm-wide, or it can be turned on or off for certain matters. Now let's see exactly how this works. We're going to change matter one final time, and in this scenario, in fact, we'll keep with the commercial side of things actually. Now I can see that I have my activity billing toggle turned on up here at the top, which means that as I work on this case, it will be automatically capturing our time. Let's just generate a quick document. So I'm going to generate a letter out to my client, click on create. Now what we'll then be able to see if we generate the document, we'll see that the billable toggle, which you should be able to see after a few seconds, is turned on up here at the top. This means as I work on this specific document, it will be automatically capturing the time that I spend typing into it. But say for example, a phone call comes in, I needed to leave my desk for one moment or so, I can simply go ahead and minimize that particular document, which will then go ahead and pause that timer. However long we then spend doing the task that we'd need away from our desk would continue, and whenever we're ready to then go back in, we simply click back into that specific document, the timer would then automatically start for us. If we also clicked away maybe to a second screen, same thing would happen. It basically means as we work our way through, it's capturing the time actually spent on a matter, not the amount of time that we've remembered to go ahead and spend. Now when I'm finished up with that particular item, I can simply save up, click on save and close. That will save into my correspondence, but if I move over into my time and fees, we'll then be able to see that it's automatically gone ahead and captured that time for me onto the specific case. I also get access to this activities option just over on the left hand side, which will show me a full list of everything that it's automatically captured for me. And if, for example, maybe I didn't want to include something, I could simply go ahead and unclick the included option just up here at the top. Now, to summarize on that brief overview of the auto time side of things, I did mention there's a full list of exactly how this works, how it can be configured, everything that it will go ahead and capture for us. This can be found if I simply go ahead and click on the question mark in the top right hand corner of Leap and move over to the Leap Help Center, which I already have open. What I can then go ahead and do is simply go ahead and search for my matter activity recording to be able to see how it works. There's frequently asked questions. But as we can see, this is the list of items that it will currently be picking up for us, how it can then work for us and what it's going to pick up, how it would work over on iOS or Android devices, etc. Everything that I've shown off today has an article to be able to run through best usage. So for example, Law-By, I can go ahead and click into to be able to gain more details on how to use it. We then went into Matter AI. Again, I can click into this to then be able to see everything that it will do for me, how to access everything that I've gone ahead and run through today. We can then have a look at prompts. If I go ahead and just give that a little search, we should then be able to see after a few seconds, Matter AI within Birds. This will run through the chat mode that I showed off, as well as the prompt mode. I can also go ahead and search for the generator as well. Again, get full details of how these work for me, as well as the auto time that I showed off at the beginning. Now, I hope that made sense to everyone. I have shown off the various different guides and where you can get instructions on how to actually use the AI apps. I will be covering where you can get more personalised training as well shortly. But I'd like to effectively finish up just by asking Amy just 2 more questions. Firstly, what advice would you have to other law firms thinking about the adoption of AI and Leap within their practice?
Just give it a go. It's built in your package. You've got nothing to lose. You're not paying for it. Just give it a go, because once you've used it once or twice, you'll realise just how easy it is, and it will become a day-to-day thing.
I couldn't agree more. I could train on AI for an hour, but showing how it works and then telling people try it yourself is the best training that can actually happen.
Play with it, ask it questions, just go for it.
Yeah, so you heard it here first. Give it a try for yourself. It is revolutionary. And then finally, just what excites you most about the potential future of AI in Leap and in the legal field as well?
Oh gosh, well, I think when you see it, you know that you've got to adopt it. If you don't, you're going to be left behind. It's a bit like technology generally. You've got to go with the times, move with it, use it for its best potential. There's just so much there. It's going to open up so much time for us, particularly fee earners. You know, you're not going to be dealing with those mundane tasks. Everything you can do to save time to actually do the legal work, it's just going to be amazing. Just do it.
Thank you so much, Amy. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier about getting some personalised training. If you would like to reach out to your customer success manager, or if you were to email success@leap.co.uk, your customer success manager will get in contact to organise some training. But in the meantime, I think we've covered it enough today. The absolute best thing that you can do is give it a go. Thank you so much to everyone's time today, and especially Amy as well.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.